Hi everybody. In this lesson, I will talk about multi-line text input in React Native as is this example. So let's start with the previous lesson. We have text input for email and for password. And in this lesson, I will add a multi-line text here. So you add a text input to here, and you can use the same syntax as the previous text input. We have the height is bigger. The height is about 100 pixel, and we also have margin padding, but we have a multi-line props. The multi-line prop is true, means that you can add more line to here. For example, you can add 2 and 3 line to here, separated by the return key. So you can also add the bottom color. By the border, we have the bottom color width, and you can set it separately using this. So if you want to set the left and the right, you do the same using border left color and width, and you can also use border right, the same as border left. So we have a 3 border. So it is very easy when you want to customize your text input, and you can set the editable. Editable is full, means that you cannot edit, but you can select. To copy and paste to another text input, and if it is editable, you can type to it, and the keyboard will show for you. And the autofocus is true, means that when you refresh your application, it will point to this autofocus when you start your application. So you can move this code line to, for example, for the password. So if it is set true, then you reload. Then you see that it will point to this or autofocus to the password text input. Okay, so it is a autofocus. And the next prop you can use on text change. On text change mean you copy this and do the similar to the previous lesson, and you want to save to the state. The type description means that when you type to text here, it will save to the variable or the property, the variable type description of the state. So if you want to change this button, you can use the prop or the property of return key type is done. You can change this to done. And what about the done? You can see in the documentation we have done, we have Go, we have Google, Yahoo, yes, and this is useful for both iOS and Android, and some property useful for iOS only, for Android only. Then you reload the application, so you can see that it is a done button. So if you press to the done, you want to dismiss the keyboard, or how can you do this? You can use on submit editing. On submit editing means that when you press this button, this done, it will dismiss the keyboard. So you have to import the keyboard to here, and then call this using keyboard dot dismiss, or the static function of keyboard dismiss to dismiss the keyboard. Okay, and you can done to dismiss and point. Okay, and what about the keyboard? I will tell you detail about keyboard later. But now you can change, for example, change to Google. It will change to search button. Yes. So let's by to done. Okay, and what about the keyboard? I will talk about the keyboard here. So firstly, we have two functions. win amount and win unmount. This is called when the React Native component is mount or unmount or dismiss the component. So it will call to this function. So you can add some of the initializing for keyboard so listener, and you can add listener means that the event is that when the keyboard has some of the default event, for example keyboard did so or the keyboard so, then it will call to this function. And this is also an arrow function. It is called when the keyboard show. Then you have to implement this. You can print to the screen, or you can set the state. You can change the state of your main component. So inside the set state, you know that we have for the previous state and the new state. So the new state here, what is this? The new state here, you can change the type text. You use the type text to display to use that the keyboard is so or is hide. So after unmount the component, the app component, you have to remove this listener, then reload. Okay, then I click to here, you see that the keyboard is shown to change. It means that when you change the state and own the component, depending on the state, will be changed accordingly. So you do the similarly with from the keyboard did so listener to the keyboard did hide listener, and the listener here will be changed. This is the system listener, so you have to write the correct text here, keyboard did hide or keyboard did show. So it will show change the text type of text, and you have to remove the listener when you unmount or you remove the components. Okay, so after running this reload, you see that when you press to this to show, a keyboard is show and here a keyboard is hide, and it's very convenient. Thank you very much for watching this lesson. This lesson is the end today. Please subscribe to my channel for more exciting videos, or get the code from GitHub